Hi everyone, and welcome back to another StampChatter video. Today I'm going to make a card for you that uses all new product from the 2020-2021 Stampin' Up! Catalog that went live on June 3rd. I'm going to use this punch called Lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch, and that was designed to go with the Lovely You stamp set. And you can get this as a bundle, 10% off, or you can buy them individually. And this punch labels was meant to coordinate with all these words, so you could make whatever size you want in two different styles of punch, and each side has three sizes from 1/2 inch to 3/4 to 1 inch. But I'm going to use it for something a little bit different, and I'm going to do a card like this. I am in a swap this month, and I have to make 22 of these. So I thought, well, if I have to make 22 of them, I might as well make a video and show everybody what I'm doing. So here's what it's a lot to make, but I've already cut out a whole bunch of dies, and I've used the Stitch So Sweetly, which is in the current catalog. It was in the last mini, and they have carried it over to the new catalog, which is great. Everything that you need to know, measurements and supplies, are all in the video description below, and you can go there and you'll know what I've done, and you can cut everything up and come back to the video and follow along if you'd like to. All right, so I've used here the Bumblebee cardstock, which is a new in color. This is Magenta Madness, which is also a new in color. And then we have Pear Pizzaz, which is the only piece that I'm using that's carried forward. It's a regular color. And of course, Whisper White. The ribbon that I've used here is Bumblebee ribbon. This is the Gingham, of course. And then this is the Bumblebee in color ribbon as well. Okay, so I've used that, and this textured background is really pretty. It's called Tasteful Texture. See if you can see that if I kind of scroll it around, and I love it because it's kind of like the Subtles 3D embossing folder. It just has a very subtle, pretty background, so it gives it some dimension with not overpowering your card. But let's get to it quickly and I'll show you what I did. So of course I took my cardstock at 5.5 by 8.5, and I ran it through my Big Shot with this folder. That's pretty simple. You can all do that. We'll just give that a fold and we'll put that aside. And then I took the Stitch So Sweetlies and the two different Framelits, and I punched. I ran through the embossing Big Shot and came up with these two. Okay, I did that, so that's all you need to know. And here's the other part. So this is 3 inches. So you're going to cut a piece of Whisper White by 3 inches, and then you're going to cut it this way by 1.5 inches. So 1.5. So we're going to go in here. I'm going to cut it at 1.5. Just like that. I'll cut myself another one in case I make a mistake and I want to start over. There you go. So I have 2 pieces. And I'm going to use a technique in this card that is called direct to stamp. It's been around forever. I've been stamping for 18 plus years, probably more like 20 years, and it was kind of a big thing when I started. Okay, so I'll show you that in a second. What am I going to do? I'm going to take this, I'm going to put a design on it using the Lovely You. But what I really want is I have an imaginary line. Eventually I'm going to cut this in half and I'm going to put it through my Lovely Labels punch. But I want my images not to get cut off at a weird spot. So I'm going to use my grid paper, which I use so much, I find so handy. Some temporary tape, and of course I've said it before, but each of these squares is 1/4 inch, and I know that this is 1.5 inches, and so 3/4 inch is my center. So I'm going to use this dark line here, and 1, 2, 3 squares, that's 3/4 inch, and 1, 2, 3 squares, 3/4 inch. So I have a basic line here that I want to stay below on some of my images, so that's what I do with that. All right, so now we're going to just take our Stampin' Right markers, that you may be wondering what you use them for, because we have these beautiful Stampin' Blends for coloring in images, outlined images, and I love working with these. They're alcohol markers. They match the Stampin' Up! In colors and in colors. I think there's some as well. And they're just great to work with. But markers don't quite do the same thing, because they kind of leave lines, and they're not the greatest thing to color in an image with, unless it's a tiny image. But what's great about these is you can do a direct to stamp technique. So you actually should use the lightest color. So I'm going to go with Daffodil Yellow. And the reason for that is you don't want to get your marker dirty. And see how I went over on the petals? It's a lot easier to cover that up with a dark color than have this dark color, which is Melon Mambo, and end up picking up Melon Mambo on my daffodil marker. Now you can clean it off just by coloring on your grid paper, but hopefully I'm not going to get it dirty. Okay, that will take some Pear Pizzaz marker. I know I have 22 of these to make. What am I thinking, right? A little crazy, but oh well, I've got all day today. All right, now in my day, I used to teach my customers by saying you need to huff on this, but my kids have told me explicitly that huffing is not a good term to use, so I won't use it. Breathe heavy. Moisten it up by breathing heavy on it, and not so much on a small stamp like this, but if you're using a really bigger image and doing a lot of different colors, it's probably more important to do so. So anyway, I'm going to breathe on the card, make sure that my ink is moist, and put my first image. And I'm going to do it one more, well, I'm going to do it several more times, but let's do the yellow daffodil first. I'll do it again. Go back in here, take up some, oh, and I messed up. See how I messed up? But that's okay. I don't have to start over. I'm just going to take my clear blender pen, okay? Just take your clear blender pen and swipe that off. And it'll pick up the color, and then just clean it. All right, and I can go back with my daffodil marker, and there you go. Great use for that pen as well. All right, go back with my Pear and put my stem in. Give it a heavy breath. Okay, so now I see this line, and I'm gonna be, I don't know if I want to be below it. I think I'm gonna be slightly above it. So I'll do this. Okay, and I have that. Now I am gonna clean my stamp, because I'm gonna put a different color on here. I'm gonna go with, here we go, Blushing Bride. And do one of those. Now this is a very light one, so I'm not too worried about my yellow. Okay, we'll color that. Take my yellow. All right, take my green. And stamp that. Put a little breath on it. Now I want to stay below this line, so I've got that in my mind. It's okay if I come right to the edge, but I'm going to try and stay below it, because that's where I'm going to cut, and I don't want, personally, just my own preference, I don't want a line there. All right. Take my old olive, and that's a bit strong, this old olives, but I do want a bit of a different color. So I'm going to stamp off once so it's not so intense, and put some leaves in here. And I like that. Just like that. Perfect. Take my Memento, and I'm going to use Just Because. Enough ink on that, and beautiful, like it. All right, now I can peel this off. I can take it to my trimmer, make sure that's dry. Don't want to dry these out, so I will cover them up. There you go. Oops, one more. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to cut this in half at 3/4 of an inch. Cut this in half. Yep. Keep in mind, 21 to go after this one. Crazy lady that I am. Anyway, bring your punch in. Okay, slip it. keep it in this channel. It's 3/4 of an inch. Slide it up. If you're worried about what it might look like, just turn it over and make sure that you're center. But if you're in this channel, you're good. Turn it around, do it again. Smoothly slide it in till it stops. And you've got that. And we'll do it one more time. Push that in. Okay, perfect. Then you have that. Lovely. All right, I'm going to bring back in my Bumblebee cardstock that I've embossed. And I'm going to bring in some of these, stitched so sweetly. And I have cut myself a piece of 8.5 of the Bumblebee ribbon, and I've put some double-sided tape on the ends because I'm going to save myself a little bit of ribbon by not having to go all the way around this card. It's not much, but when you're doing 20 cards, that's a lot of ribbon saved. So I'm just going to do a bit of a guessing job here where I want this to be. And just like that, and I've saved myself a couple inches. A couple inches over 20 cards could be a lot of ribbon I can use for something else. So I'm just using some Tombow glue here because I have texture paper that I'm going over top of and a little bit of the ribbon, and I want it to stick down really well, and I love my Tombow glue. All right, just like that. Okay. Take this Pear Pizzaz and something no crafter should be without, which is dimensions. They just add another level to your card. You can turn a simple card into something with a bit more, well, dimension to it. Thus the word. Okay, stamp this off, stamp this off, put this, all right. There we go. Now, I'm going to bring these pieces back in, and they will be a little tricky to line up. I'll put some more dimensions on here, and here, and here. All right. I still have a little bit of two-way tape on there, but that's okay. It's not gonna do anything bad. Let's line these up. It's kind of hard to line up when I can't put my head in the shot, but I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna say there. I'm gonna say there. I might actually bring this down a little bit. Right like that. How's that look? All right, almost done. I'm just gonna put my Bumblebee gingham ribbon on the side, just like this. Tie a knot, just one knot, it'll stay nice and tight. Take your scissors, cut that off on an angle, just like that. Do it again, over on this side, and I'm down one card and got like, I don't know, what did I say, 20, 21 more to do. So I'm off. I'm gonna make more of those beautiful cards with my lovely label punch, and I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.